I don't know. I'm really nervous and I'm really excited, and I don't even know if this is going to make any sense at all. Hey, my name is Amanda, and I'm so excited that you're here. I'm really nervous because I am a filmmaker. I am not an in front of the camera type person, but I have thought about doing this series for the longest time, and I've just put it off and put it off and put it off, making excuses every step of the way, and I finally decided it is time to do this series. So what is the series? It is all about mission trips. I've seen a lot of conversations online about the harmfulness of mission trips, or specifically Americans going to foreign countries and going on mission trips. And I can agree that it can be really harmful if it's done with the wrong intentions or the wrong motivations or skills or planning. But it also can be a really beneficial thing when it's done correctly. I myself have been on 10 mission trips, 2 of which were stateside trips and the others were international trips. I've done my fair shares of evangelical, medical, and construction trips. I've been on really great, life-changing trips, not just for me, but the community that we were serving, where we've met their spiritual and their physical needs. But I've also been on really bad trips where it was straight up volunteerism and the American church wanting to pat themselves on the back and say, we did a good deed, when they really didn't help that community. Not only do I want to talk about that, I want to talk about the stories of the mission field. In 2019, I had it placed on my heart that I needed to find those stories, the ways that God is transforming lives in other countries, and bring it back to the Church of America. Not everyone's going to go on a foreign trip. Not everyone can. God hasn't called everyone to go on a foreign trip. And I think that that's what's the beautiful thing about knowing what's going on in these foreign countries, is that there are ways that you can still get involved in that even if you can't physically go. And I want to talk about that. I also want to take time to talk about what it looks like to prepare for the trip. I want to help people feel more confident in choosing a trip, going on a trip, and their own spiritual growth and journey on these trips. I want to share all these stories, and I want to just do something to just bring awareness to what God is doing, because it honestly strengthens your faith in a way that you cannot conceive once you go on trips like this. I want to tell the stories of the mission field, and I want to bring you along for the journey. Here's a little bit quick background about me and the trips that I went on. When I was 12, I went on my first mission trip. It was a little stateside trip for the week of spring break. We went to the local YWAM base where I live, and we helped them do some minor construction work. My next mission trip is when I was 18. I went to a small little town in Alaska to help them clean up after winter storms. We were there for about a month. I didn't go on mission trips for a long time after that, because those first 2 trips were not spiritually based at all, at least not for me. I was going because I wanted to go. I was going because it was an opportunity to go on vacation without having to pay for it myself. My next trip, I went to South Africa when I was 26. My sister's a full-time missionary there, and we got to go and work with her for about 2 weeks and enjoy that time and see what she was doing there, and it completely changed my mindset. I went back the next year, so 2018, and then now in 2019. And in 2020, I didn't go on any trips. I was obviously kind of quarantined like everyone else, wasn't able to go on a mission trip. In 2021, I went on 2 mission trips. I went to El Salvador and I went to Togo, Africa. In 2022, I went on 2 more mission trips. Once again, I went to El Salvador, and then I went to Honduras. In 2023, I went on 2 more mission trips. I went to El Salvador again for the 3rd time, and Honduras again for the 2nd time. And the 2nd time I went to Honduras, I was pregnant. I had just reached my 2nd trimester when I went on my trip. So many of my mission trips at this point have been evangelical in nature, and I think every trip should have an evangelical look at it, and I have those parts of it. But specifically, the trips I went on was we would go to different schools or communities, and we would put on programs where we just played with kids and then teach them some dances and teach them the gospel, and then pray with them and get them plugged into a local church. I've also gone on medical mission trips where we would go into the communities and meet their physical needs of health as well as their physical needs of housing and give them what they need, but then also give them the gospel. I've also been on a construction trip which felt more like a volunteerism trip than an actual mission trip, and I hope to get into the details in a future video where I talk about what I believe are good trips and bad trips, trips that are harmful, but also trips that are helpful, and which trips should you go on. And I hope that that helps you make a decision when choosing to go on a trip. I don't know, I'm really nervous, and I'm really excited, and I don't even know if this is gonna make any sense at all, but I really hope that it does, and I really hope that I'm able to just tell these stories.